I decided to start this on my ones. And one by one, they will join and we will talk. We will have our conversations. But, you guys are waiting. So I said, okay, cool. Let's get it started immediately, emphatically immediately. And as they come in, we will slice and dice this one by one, ladies and gentlemen, because this weekend here, nobody will run from this smoke. I don't want to hear any shamelessness, Lawless, because I think Lawless will be the first one to join. I don't want to hear any shamelessness from you. I don't want to hear anything about anything but about this is a clear penalty. There is no conversations about it. There is no debates. It's a clear penalty. Soucek handballed it. No problem. All right. Tobs is coming in soon as well. His internet's moving fugazi. Lee is coming in soon as well. He's just coming back from football. It's a madness. The Everton-Liverpool game is happening directly after this. It's a shorter show than usual. It's difficult. It ain't easy in these streets. We are trying to put it all together as quickly as possible. All right? Tobs is done with that, so we're all good. But I'm still not over what happened. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not saying that what happened against West Ham was a brilliant performance. I'm not saying that it was comprehensive. I'm not saying that we deserved on the balance of play to win it, because I'm not going to tell you that, because one half was something, one half was the complete opposite. But what I will say is that regardless of what happened at Stamford Bridge between West Ham and Chelsea and the Fugazi business that went on there, and yes, they probably deserved something. There was another VAR problem. The referee in this weekend, and it's going to be in everybody's game but Tobs. Tobs, you're asking why Tobs is blacked out on the thumbnail. Hey, he wasn't meant to be here. He was not meant to be here. He's only last minute has he changed it, and he's coming in. So, I respect the bravery. It's not easy after you lose 4-1 to Leicester. Do you know what I'm saying? It ain't easy in these streets. That was quite the shambolic display. So yeah, it ain't easy. Now, I'm not an undercover or anything, okay? It was a slip of the tongue. It happened. It was live, okay? You have to understand, when you do live content, sometimes you're going to say things. It's just going to happen, okay? Please do not hold my exact words, what I said, to accountable to me. Please just allow me with that one. Do you know what I mean? Let me move in silence, all right? I'm in this just as much as everybody else is, okay? All right. Lawless is coming in first, all right? I don't know what Tobs is on, okay? Tobs is here, there, and everywhere. He's either coming, he's not coming in. I don't know what's going on anymore. This guy is he's all over the shop, right? But I know Lawless is coming in here now, so we're going to talk. We're going to talk because words have to be had. Tobs got a tan. I don't understand what this is about. But first man's in here already. Lawless. Lawless, we start with you.
Mate.
We're not gonna talk about Tobs right now, because we saw the last message in the group chat. I'm not here to even rant about Tobs at this point. Okay, Tobs is some sort of Jamie Carragher fanatic, obsessive. What fetish he has for Jamie Carragher. I'm gonna talk about it on Big Six, okay? Because it's just ridiculous now. He's playing.
You better go in on him, man.
Toying with us. He's playing games. All right.
What is he doing?
You, sir, I saw your shamelessness on that TL. Please don't tell me that you're gonna come in here, because Lee Judges ain't here yet. Coming in soon. Please tell me you're not gonna come in here and lie in front of all these people and say that Soucek was trying to tackle someone. Just don't do it.
Look, right? At the end of the day, he was going to ground to try and win the ball, yeah? What he has done to do that is plant his hand down at the same time. Letter of the law states, yeah, that cannot be a handball because he's using that hand to support himself. The PMGOL or whatever the acronym is have come out and said that was the reason that it wasn't awarded, because you know what I mean. And take it from me, yeah. I said on the watch along, I want us to screw Chelsea over, and the fact that you lot are bitching and crying, you Matisse, yeah. Let's not forget after that game at Stamford Bridge, yeah, when you cheated us out of a win. When Cornet's goal was wrongfully ruled outside, you were saying, you'll have to hold that. You have to hold that. Well, you have to hold that. Yeah? You have to hold that. At the end of the day, what goes around comes around. I think, look, listen, I don't agree with it. Letter of the law. I want it to be handball. I wish that you did get screwed because I'd love to rub it in. I was desperate for it. Desperate. Yeah. So listen, you lot better keep your head down and keep quiet about corruption. Some of the takes from Chelsea fans has been hilarious.
I'm asking you, is it a penalty or is it not? Because you have come on this show so many times and spoke about refereeing decisions going against West Ham and this and that and the third. If you're going to do this, you have to be consistent. Are you going to be consistent? Are you going to actually say, do you know what? Nah, that was the wrong decision. That was a penalty. Chelsea should have had a penalty and we need to fix the refereeing in this country. Are you going to be consistent? Because what you're not going to do is complain when it goes against you. And then when it's for you, now you're going to be all shameless.
Right. If I hadn't seen the letter of the law,
I'm documenting this, by the way. You see this moment. I'm documenting this. I'm remembering this.
When Mendy, and all of that stuff with the Cornet goal, where was the letter of the law? Did you have a letter of the law? I didn't see no letter. Now we got a letter, and I have to go by the letter of the law. The law. Listen, I know I'm lawless, but I have to go by the law in this instance. And the law states,
of course you do. Of course,
the law states it's not a pen. Like I said, I wanted Chelsea to be screwed because you deserved it. The way you lot acted after the Cornet goal was ruled out. How none of you was sitting there going, it was a bad decision. The refs are corrupt. No, you lot were like, oh, you have to hold that. Cry more, cry more. Well, Chelsea fans, cry more. You need to cry more.
You know,
simple.
I don't know with you. If you guys get relegated, remember this moment. I'm not gonna lie. Remember this moment. Honestly,
so you were sitting there on Twitter and relegation.
I went to your pub, Lawless. I went to your pub. We played a good game of pool. We done a nice preview. Everything was friendly. And then you come into this game, and like I said, we didn't play great in the second half. But your player literally saved the ball. It was a save. It was like Gibbs and Chamberlain at Stamford Bridge, and then he sent off the wrong person. That you literally, bro. There was no slide tackle. There was no people are telling me it's subjective. People are like, oh, it's subjective. You know, the one at Arsenal was more obvious because it was clear offside. Lee Mason. Where's our apology? Where's our apology from the PGMLO, whatever the crap they're called? Where's our apology? You send an apology.
They've come out and justified it. They came out and said,
what's there to justify? It was wrong. It's the wrong decision.
But he's got to plant his hand. Otherwise, he's going to fall over and hurt himself. He's got to support his body, man. You go down. You got to put your hand there. Come on. Come on.
Are you being serious?
What? Come on. I'm just going by the letter of the law. That's all. I'm just saying they said it. So you can't blame the PGMLO. If they would have come out and said, it was the wrong decision, then I would have been like, If it was, listen, I'd be laughing in your face. And I wanted to, it was funny. Like Soucek even made a little joke about his dad being a goalkeeper and that. Like, it's, you know what I mean? It's funny, but I'm sorry. The law's the law, mate. I don't make the rules. Don't be mad at me. Get the rule changed.
So if that happened to West Ham, you would not be in here doing a madness. You would be moving mad in this show. If this happened to you, and you could have had a penalty, and I'm not using it like I said, we should have beaten you regardless because you guys have been awful this season, really. With the amount of quality we had on that pitch, we should have been beating you anyway. But I'm just trying to say, if that was you, there's no way you would have accepted that. You would have been like, yo, that's handball. Do you know what? It's cool though. It's fine.
I would have said that, but I would have complained about the rule. I would have said the letter of the law needs changing.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. That's what they're saying.
At the end of the day, Matisse, you're just gonna have to hold that, aren't you? You're gonna have to hold.
I will hold that.
Hold it tight.
I will hold that. But I'm also documenting it. I'm remembering it, and I'm taking it, and I'm going into the next.
Just make sure you got your letters. When you come back to me, and you try to throw things at me, make sure you got your letters prepared. That's what I want to see.
100%.
And the thing is, we should have that Soucek goal should have stood by rights because of the Cornet goal. It should have evened out. Like, yes, it was offside, but look, if they'd have given us,
you know how I've been sprinkling my juju on Arsenal, and I've been hoping for Manchester. I might have to start with you lot. How far are you from relegation?
Like
2 points. 2 points. You better be careful. You don't wake the beast, because if I start watching your games on watch-alongs, it's over for you, man. You know that. I haven't actually watched a single West Ham game on a watch-along yet since I started doing them, because I was like, you guys are six. You guys are 16th. Who are you playing? Tottenham. I'll be there. I'll be there. I will be there no matter what. You guys are 2 points off the drop. Watch when I get involved in this.
Well, all I'm saying is, and what I'm hearing is like all you Chelsea fans are acting like, yeah, we smacked you. We should have won that. It was a game of two halves. Like you had the first half, we had the second.
Why did it have to be Emerson?
You know what I mean?
It was Willian and then it's Emerson. Why?
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
Oh.
And you got Cucurella. You got Cucurella there stinking up the place. And you let Emerson, you paid 60 million for Cucurella and let Emerson go for 14. And Emerson scored and your fans booed Cucurella off.
Hey,
in the video.
Hey. I don't fight the match going fan fight. I don't sit here and tell you that all match goers are the best supporters and the real ones. And no. I don't play that game. You see this narrative where people like to go online fans versus match going fans. Both sets of supporters have their pluses and their negatives in terms of the way they, will trash players online or trash them in the stadium. We have match goers that have booed managers, have booed players. Jorginho, sorry. I don't defend that. Same online, you can see the abuse for players in comment sections. I have done the match going thing, and I've also done the online international thing. So I don't defend or sit in any court in any group, because I know that both have their flaws and both have their pluses. Both have to wake up at crazy times or have to travel crazy times to get to games. But talking of match going fans, someone got laid out. someone got laid.
A whole lot of L's that day, man.
Jesus,
a whole lot of L's that day.
Yeah, and you know what? If you watch the whole clip, the whole video, he actually punched him twice. He went for the first punch and he connected and he didn't knock him down. And then the second punch, he decided, no, this time you're hitting the canvas and you're sleepy time. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. After the first one, he should have been like, all right, oh, cool, that's what it is. You know what I mean? He's getting there up, sticking his finger in people's faces. You got to go night-night, my friend. You got to go night-night. What's he even doing? That's where I come in. That's where I come through.
You know what? Yeah, I just went to Stratford and you just took me to the crazy part of town. And we were discussing it on our walk about, behaving yourself when you're in them ends. And clearly he's not behaving himself because he doesn't understand. It's not all about Westfields and nice commutes. It can get sticky.
Yeah, and it got stuck on him, mate. He got stuck on him. So, learn a valuable lesson there. Like, you got to be on your best behavior when you're away.
Let's talk about because it's a more condensed show today. Hopefully Lee gets here in time to have his rant about the Lee Mason situation and also, of course, the Manchester City game coming up. But I thought you would enjoy this moment in particular. And considering that nobody's watching us right now in terms of, obviously we got the viewers, but we don't have any Arsenal fan in here yet. We don't have any Tottenham fan in here yet. So I feel like today is a great opportunity to be as shameless as we can, because why not? We're not being watched. We're not being controlled here or, put in our place or ordered. When you miss a show because you want to faff around with Jamie Carragher, I think you should pay the price. But we're going to start with we're going to start with Arsenal, because I believe Saliba had 0 out of 10 aerial duels. Now I'm not involved, but I know you are in that whole thing. So I'm gonna let you talk on that Toney performance, because Arsenal must be stopped. And Lee Mason said, I'm involved. So until Lee Judges gets here and claps back, you have full reign to go insane, as they say, and do a madness if you wish. I mean, listen, it happens.
You know what? I got to say shout out to Yusuf in the chat who said Lawless was low-key right on Saliba, yeah? Because I was low-key right on Saliba. I never said he was crap, and I was going with Potts in the group. Potts, oh my God, yeah? He's in the Maldives, right? And I'm there ruining his holiday. The guy was so rattled. He was so rattled. I'm messaging him, and he's about Saliba, and he's like, oh, West Ham are going to get relegated. Because I said to him, you're saying he's like the best right back in Europe right now. And I said, slow down. Slow your roll, my friend. He's playing well now. Let's wait and see. Let's just wait and see how it pans out with him before you're making all these sweeping predictions and judgments, right? Since the World Cup, he's not been good. He's not been good at all. And this just shows you how certain fans go too early. And he went way too early. And he got made a fool of. And yeah, okay, we'll talk about the offside. And I'm not gonna even try and
Oh, you're gonna be fair on this one, yeah?
Yeah, look, that it's a shambles.
Apparently, Brentford also had a goal that should have stood apparently as well.
No, it's not apparently.
I didn't watch the game. I'm just saying.
I was there, right? I was there literally just after the watch along. I was in the control room in DR with Jason and Flex and that. We're watching it live. That's the part of the game I saw, and we saw it and we're looking at it like, and the replay, like, why they ruled that goal off? What are they blowing up for? There's nothing wrong with that goal, Toney's goal, and that was to put Brentford 1-0 up, and that got disallowed. So it evened itself out. That got disallowed. Their goal got allowed. So that's the goal that got disallowed. It's an even draw. Is a fair result in that game, but
Brentford. I didn't watch it because I think the game was going on during something else that I was doing. But Brentford's XG was actually better than Arsenal's, which I was shocked about. But it seemed like they had the clearer cut, more.
Oh, by the way, our XG was higher than Chelsea's. By the way, I just got to put that out there as well.
Yeah,
you know that.
You guys ain't great. Yeah.
You seen that? You seen that XG?
No, I didn't see that. No.
Now you know. Now you know.
Since Soucek decided to be a goalkeeper, I didn't see anything. No, I didn't see anything. Because you didn't see that. So I didn't see what you're talking about.
I saw it, but I saw the letter of the law as well. That's what I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's not good enough, mate.
That should be the name of this. The title of this show should be Letter of the Law, Letter of the Lawless.
I might change the title. I might.
but yeah, no, like I'm not gonna lie. Like, yeah, draw was a fair result in that game, but that decision is a shambles. Things like that should never ever happen. We have VAR there to help these refs. And more times it's exposing them. I just seen that the guy who was in charge of the VAR is off of VAR for the Arsenal Man City game.
Yeah.
So they've acknowledged it. I mean, they came out and apologized.
Howard Webb's had he summoned like the devil, right? He summoned the whole last meeting. Oh, speak of it. Arsenal rep is in the building. Just as we're talking about Lee Mason and Howard Webb and all of the controversy. The judge is here
to give his judgment.
I thought that was Lee Mason on there for a minute, like, I mean, so.
Yo, I saw you, Lee, actually earlier today, right? And actually, you've just arrived after we had some shameless Saliba talk because of the 0 out of 10 aerial duels, and Lawless has a small agenda that could be called. I don't know if you want to keep saying it.
I'm just saying it's Potts' fault. Potts held him as the best centre back in world football, and he's gonna do this, and he's gonna be nominated for Ballon d'Ors and all of that, and. You know what I mean? I said, just relax. I said, slow down. Let's just see what happens. And right now we're seeing what's happening. And like you said, 0 aerial duels.
How good was Toney? Was he good? Do you think he was good on Saturday?
Yeah, he was incredible. Good. He was incredible.
Didn't get a kick at Brentford, did he?
Well,
there you go. So one game doesn't make you a superstar. And one game don't make you a bad player.
On Saliba Lee, come on. He has dropped off a bit since the World Cup.
Since the World Cup, yeah, I think he has. I don't think anybody would dispute that. I think he's not. I don't think he's been poor. I've been a little bit disappointed with Mikel Arteta, really, if I'll be honest about him, because there's been a couple of occasions, since the World Cup, he's come back from the World Cup, hardly played, was in fantastic form, and then. Like being rested for the Oxford game, rested for the Manchester City game. I think he needs games. I don't think he needs to be rested. He's a young kid. He's infused, And I think that the last 2 games, if I'll be really honest, and this doesn't happen too much in the Premier, he's come up against 2 big centre forwards, and they've caused him a little few problems. Like in Calvert-Lewin, who funny enough, is not playing tonight, apparently injured, but he was fit for against us. And Ivan Toney, I think that we'd all be honest, if we'd be really honest here, all three of us would take him at our football clubs.
I would take him, yeah. I have it in the title. I feel like at the moment, in terms of strikers, because we've been linked with a striker to kind of cherry on top of the cake of all the creation that we've now bought. I know people are talking about Victor Osimhen. I know that I also like Victor Roque, but he's much younger, Brazil under 20s. I think Ivan Toney, for what he has in terms of the full package, in terms of his game, the work rate, the hold-up play, the finishing, even set pieces. He scored an incredible free kick earlier this season. He seems like the perfect kind of striker, the next one to take that step up to a top team.
Yeah.
Obviously, the whole betting situation is
that's a bit of
the issue.
Thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I'm a big fan of Saliba. Like, you know what I mean? I just think he hasn't quite hit the standards of since the World Cup. But do you know what? Look, there's a lot of players like that. You know, if I'll be honest, not just Saliba, not just Arsenal players, not just, you know, there's a few Arsenal players as well. But I'm backing him. Like, you know what I mean? I think he's an outstanding player. Like, you know, and you know, he made a mistake. Remember against West Ham, he wasn't really good in that game. If you remember, I give away the penalty. You know, so
how many penalties has he given away this season? It feels like a few.
I think maybe one or two, given own goal was way as well. Like, you know what I mean? So listen, I think that when you're that young, you're gonna have little dips of form. You know, so it's only natural.
But first season,
yeah. You know, and I think the Premier League. Yeah, I think one thing about the Premier League, you have to admit this, guys, is that if you're not on it, you're going to get sussed out. Don't matter if you're Chelsea, Manchester City, Arsenal, West Ham, Saliba, Van Dijk, or whoever. If you're not quite on it, you know, look at Van Dijk this season. He's been not quite on it and has been exposed a few times. So, you know, lessons got to be learned. Lessons have got to be learned.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think right now anybody could take points off anybody. We even see bottom of the league, Southampton beat Manchester City comprehensively in the Carabao Cup, I believe it was, Carabao Cup. And I watched that game and they literally just wiped the floor with them. Technically, they were much better in that game. Any lapse of concentration, you will pay a price right now in this league. And Lawless said that it's not a handball for Soucek because he had to slide that way because he had to land on his arm. Letter of the Lawless, he's calling it. Lee, please. Lee judges, the judge. Please.
Have you seen the rule book, Lee? You seen it? Have you seen it?
I've seen a couple of angles on this, and I'm going to be really honest. Did it hit his knee? Did it hit his hand? You know what I mean? Like, there is an angle. It shows it looks like it hit his knee. I think it's one of those precarious ones that you know,
not clear and obvious.
It's not clear and obvious. Yes, that is exactly it. I have to say that, like, as much as I want to go against Lawless, so I do. But
I'm actually fuming. I'm fuming. And Tobs is with us as well. I don't know. I thought Jamie Carragher was gonna analyze the game.
Jamie Carragher,
bro, what's going on?
We can't hear you.
They changed the format. You can see it here. Look. They're in Anfield, man. So
it's not to your liking, though. It's not with the big table.
Not to my usual liking, because they're not
to your standards.
Not to my standards. No, they're not dissecting the info on the rest of the games. It's only about Everton, and Liverpool, which is fair, right? But yeah, that's it. 100%. What have I missed?
Well, you've missed Lawless being shameless with Saliba's aerial duel success rate. You've also missed him. You've also missed him telling me that handball from Soucek it's the letter of the Lawless, so it's not actually handball.
Of course, it's a fucking handball. What's he talking about?
You haven't seen the letter of the law, Tobs. You haven't seen the rules that state
it is a handball. He's dived to using his arm to block the shot.
But Lee just made a good point as well. It's not clear enough because you look at it, every time you look at it, it looks like it hits his knee onto his hand.
It's clear and obvious. What do you mean it's not clear and obvious? It is.
What is going on?
It couldn't be more clear. It's probably one of the clearest decisions any referee will have to make.
But do you know the law, Tobs?
What are you talking about?
When you plant the hand that you're planting, when you're going down, when you're planting your hand on the floor, support yourself. If the ball hits it, it's not handball because you're using that to plant your hand. That's the rules. I'm sorry, the rules are the rules, my friend.
Mate,
I don't make them.
He's already half.
I can't stand this guy when he's doing it to me and he's making it about. Now I get why Tobs is always so wound up. This guy is so shameless. It's actually insane. You know, if that happened to you, you would not stop talking about it. The whole show would be about how West Ham were cheated. They should have had 3 points. Referees a disgrace. We need to rip up the whole rule book. We need everybody sacked. But now you're trying to fugazi your way into
my hands are tied. Like the rules are the rules, my friend.
I'm gonna remember.
My hands are tied. There's nothing I can do. Okay, it's out of my hands now.
Mad. But yeah, we kind of cleared West Ham, Chelsea to be quick, and we was moving on to Arsenal, obviously, just in this entirety because Lee Mason forgot to draw the lines. Apparently, Howard Webb is having a big meeting, like we said, and we'll see what comes of that. Lee, do you have any? I mean, Howard Webb, to be fair to him, was a serious referee in his day. So, do you have any confidence that he's actually gonna? There's going to be consequences to the actions that we saw at the weekend.
What consequences are there going to be? You know, like a sorry or whatever. Like, you know, listen, you know, the whole thing is a shambles. I'm going to have to say that. Like, you know, it's not just Lee Mason; he's got an assistant as well. How can they spend 4 minutes on that one, which I think was offside? When you look at it, it is offside. They took 4 minutes to decide that it's not offside, and then the one that is guaranteed you can see is offside, they forgot to look at. You know what I mean? Come on, you can't be doing that. Like I watched the, you know, like the highlights of. I didn't see the Spurs. I'm going to bring up Spurs and Leicester. They give Harvey Barnes offside for a millimetre like that. They went, you know, a millimetre like that. And
same with us.
Yeah. Same with Chelsea. They found that straight away, and they don't find that one, which is, you know, you can't be like that. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. How he keeps his job, I don't know. It's like if you're in hospital and you've got a bad knee, or you know, you've got to say, for instance, you've got to have your toe off, right? And you get back, wake up in the morning, and you got the wrong toe taken off. Like, you ain't going to be happy, are you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to, you know, what are you going to do? You know, you're going to want compensation. You're going to want something out of it. You know, it's part of the job. The part of the job. So this is the thing with me, and this is a great point going into what Lawless was saying about the handball. It ain't fact. Did it? Is it? You know, yeah, it did. It didn't. It didn't. It's that there's two things that are fact in football, right? Over the line and offside. There, you know, some like for penalty and all that, you can argue like we could all be refereeing games and we could all turn around and go, yeah, that's a penalty, and one of us can turn around and say, no, it's not a penalty. That's the way football is. But there is two things that are fact, and that is them two things. And to not look at that and get that, I think it's embarrassing. Not just because it's Arsenal. You know, we can go on to the more high profile if you want, but look at the Brighton one. He's put the lines down the wrong player. It's you know, well, this is no Mickey Mouse show. This is a multi-million-pound industry.
In the World Cup, bro, we had no problems. We had no issues. In the World Cup, we didn't speak about referees once. Even, remember that, I can't remember the specific game. There was a real close call where on the watch along for DR, I was like, yo, that's way offside. Like, and then it became a situation where there was a player that most people with the naked eye, they didn't spot it, right? But they managed to get that decision. They got the call right. I think there was a new offside kind of system that was in place. It's different to the one in the Premier League where we're drawing lines. I think they had something automatic. And in the different leagues, you can see they've got different types of systems. Why is it that the Premier League seem to have the worst refereeing with the most money in the league, with the highest standards, the most entertainment, but have the worst refereeing consistently as well? I mean, I just speak.
See, I don't like agree with the whole line drawing personally. To me, I feel like when you start looking at millimeters and into you going that much scrutiny into offside, there's no, you just give the goal.
Oh, I agree.
I agree. Yeah,
I agree.
Benefit of the attacker.
That one ain't. The line shouldn't even be drawn. You can see it's offside. It's not like it's. You know, I go back to Man United Arsenal a couple of years ago when Aubameyang was given offside. Right, if it weren't for VAR, when you actually see it, it's 3 yards onside. It's just you've got incapable people making these decisions, and that's it. Listen, Lee Mason weren't the best referee when he was refereeing. Let's face it, like, you know what I mean. And now it's like, you know, it's like giving me. I ain't very good on a computer, but it's like giving me, like, you know, free range of a computer plane. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to crash it, and I like, you know what I mean? It's as simple as that. It's just, you know, it's incredible that we're here talking about it, because we shouldn't be talking. Do you know what? I'll say this now. That idiot on Sky Sports today, Dermot Jones, what do you reckon he should do? Oh, I should have more training. More training. Like, you know what I mean? What they need to do is go, right, you're sacked. See you later. You're sacked. See you later. Bring in somebody else. And do you know what? Eventually they're accountable and they won't make those mistakes, because they turn around and go, oh, I'm going to lose my high privilege job if this don't happen, if I don't do this. You know what I mean? You cannot make a mistake like that, or the one at Brighton, right? If I be honest, those ones are more important because they're facts.
Yeah, fair.
Get them wrong and still be in a job.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Tobs, what do you think about this, bro?
No pressure.
Sorry, I'll go off on mute. I hope you lot can hear me. I think it's a shambles, man. I think it's an absolute shambles. And like, listen, we can all laugh about, oh yeah, the team that you hate didn't get the decision against them. But I've been bitching and moaning about the standard refereeing for a long time now. Ever since I've started streaming, it's the one of the few things I can't stand it, man. I stand the inconsistency, and beyond the inconsistency, I can't stand the crazy decisions they're making. Because it's crazy. Like the Arsenal offside, like you can see that in real time. You don't even need VAR to see that.
Yeah,
it's
the FA are so onto you right now.
No, but you know what I mean? He's right though. You don't need VAR for that. He's
my
so,
internet's
he's
all
so
over
right.
the shop. People say McDonald's Wi-Fi. People are saying McDonald's Wi-Fi. Sorry, my internet is struggling, right? But either way, even the Chelsea West Ham one, outrageous decision. Literally outrageous decision. Like, you watch that, you even have technology to watch that shit again. Yeah. You have technology to watch that shit again, and you still can't make the right decision. The what other game was there as well? I'm trying to
Brighton,
remember.
Palace, and also Southampton apparently as well. There was an
Brighton
issue there. Yeah.
Blatantly onside. Like, they have technology to actually look at multiple angles, and they're actually missing people together in the frame, or forgetting to draw the lines. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke, man. Get rid of a lot of them, man. Honestly, they are shit officials. They're rubbish officials. They're not good at their job. Get rid of a lot.
It's not even the technology. Like, the technology works.
The tech is fine.
It's the people using it.
Yes,
Exactly.
people using it. I'll tell you what was a good point someone made today. And I don't know, like, do you know when, like, they give the goal for the Arsenal? Can they go on the Arsenal game, right? Yeah. They give the Arsenal game, right? The goal before. Why can't they? So, like, he's give the goal, and then someone must have highlighted it up to him. Oh, you might have missed that. Why can't they, even if they've kicked off, go, hold on a minute, stop the game, we've made a mistake? Why have they let that carry on for another 20 minutes, that game, knowing that they've done that? Why couldn't they have just said, like, even if it's 20 seconds, 30 seconds later, kick off, for instance, and then go, oh, do you know what?
Yeah.
No, we've made a mistake.
Lee, do you think they knew they fucked up by disallowing the earlier goal for Brentford? That would have put them on. They've evened it out. Like, sometimes you hear
you know what I mean? Let's get this right, Lawless. You're an arsehole. Like, it wasn't even a goal. Right? Okay. It was, you know whether it was a foul or not, they stopped. Everybody stopped, and he scored the goal. So you can't, like, go on to there.
Really.
Potsy told me that you was half decent. I'm now, like, you know what I mean? I realise that it's not the half that I bloody well know. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
wait, it's true. Do you feel like that was right decision though to blow up for the Brentford?
Do you know what? I'm going to say this now. I'll be really honest with you. It's a bit like your handball. It's not clear and obvious, is it? Like, you know, so I have to say that it could have been a foul, might not have been a foul. I get that. It's not fact, is it? So for them to, you can't do that anyway. Like say, oh, we might have made a mistake here and do this and do that. That was, absolutely fair. And
You
I
see
think
it though,
after,
didn't you? At times, didn't you? You've seen it in games where sometimes,
yeah,
they feel like they've
even it up and all that. Like, listen, that's gone on in the past. Of course it has. Like, you know what I mean? But I don't know about that. Like, and it's not like you can actually even it up, is it? Like, say, oh look,
No, you
it is
can't,
offside, but we're trying to brush it away. You know what I mean? You can't do it. You can't do it. Like, you know what I mean? It's because it's a fact, guys. You know what I mean? Like, if there was a dodgy penalty or something and they didn't give it, I could understand what you're saying there, really, Dan. But like, I'm not. When it's a fact, you can't say like, "Oh, look, the ball's gone over the line," but we pretend the buzzer don't work. That's what it's like. This is what this thing is like, really. Like, you know what I mean? They've actually looked at it and gone, "Oh, it's gone in," but we turn the buzzers off and we're not make sure. It's such a scandalous decision.
It's honestly it's one of the worst. It's one of the worst.
Yeah, why can't they turn around? And the same with the other game at Brighton. I'm not just saying it's Arsenal game. Why can't someone go, oh, Dermot. What's his name? I can't remember it. The referee. Dermot Gallagher. Right. Gallagher, yeah. He was sort of trying to stick up for him by saying that they've been taking too long on it, right? So, like, all right, they're about to kick off and they've had another look at it and while the game's going and go, hold on a minute, let's stop it. Yeah. We have met. Do you know what? I know that Brentford wouldn't have been happy, but like, would have they'd be in a better position doing that than saying, "Oh, sorry,"
because the game would have had more integrity if they did that.
Yeah, exactly that. You know what I mean? Like, exactly that.
Can I ask you as well? Do you feel like before we slaughter Tottenham for 10 minutes, do you feel like the game against Man City, like, does this dent your confidence? Like, can the players respond? Because it's 2 games in a row now without a win. Obviously, Man City are going to pose a completely different test. It's not going to be as physical. Yeah. It's going to be a lot more, technical game. And obviously, we were speaking earlier. You guys did do very well at the Etihad when you played them. Now you're going to bring your strongest team in. Are you confident going in about a bounce back, or do you think this is kind of hurt you?
Listen, I'll be really honest about it. Like, the last 2 games ain't been ideal, but there's a saying in football, and if you don't play well and you win, it's a sign of a good team. You know what I mean? Oh, look, they've played badly and won 1-0. Well, that could have happened if it weren't for that poor decision. Let's not sugarcoat it and get over the fact that Brentford were the better team on Saturday. I'm not, a lot of people are trying to going down the VAR route and whatever. I felt that they was a better side, particularly in the first half. And if it wasn't for their poor finishing, they probably could have been 2 or 3 up. But I think this is a different game. I think that the last 2 games we've got teams that have defended deep, not really had too much emphasis of going forward. I think we had 71%. But what these last 2 teams have done is played long ball. And it's caused us problems. That's something that we're going to have to resolve going forward because other teams are going to look to do that. But I think on Wednesday, I think it's a perfect game because Manchester City will come out and play, and we will. And I'm looking forward to it. As an Arsenal fan, I've been moaning for 5, 6, 7 years and frustrated because we've not had games like we're going to have one Wednesday night. I'm looking forward to it. I've been envious of watching Manchester City, Liverpool battling it out for titles, the Chelsea, Tottenham game a few years ago. What about the battle at the Bridge? I want Arsenal to be involved in those sort of games, and we've got it on Wednesday. Everybody will be looking at it like, if I think it's on Amazon, and it ain't even on like.
I think so. Yeah,
Amazon, yeah.
So, but everybody will be looking at it, and look, listen, Arsenal, if they win the game, they go 6 points clear. If they lose the game, obviously they're level and they go out of it. But when the World Cup finished, or when the World Cup started, the last game before the World Cup, we was 2 points clear. We're now 3.
Yeah.
So
with a game in hand. Yeah.
With a game in hand, yeah. So if you'd have said to me, would you take that? Yeah, I would. If I'd be recently, we could be in the same position if we'd have beaten Everton last week. Manchester City could have beaten Tottenham. The facts of the matter is they're not in great form neither. Let's be really honest about it. As you said earlier on, they lost to Southampton and didn't just lose them. They got well and truly beaten. They got well and truly beaten at Spurs last week as well. So. Yeah.
They're
So
not. They're not. They're not.
this-
Yeah, they're not
They're not
unstoppable.
this team
No.
that you should be afraid of and scared of, of anything there. And I can tell you that now. I've only seen the highlights of the Spurs game, but Spurs, it weren't like a smash and grab win. There wasn't a smash and grab win, like I think a couple of years ago that they probably got a smash and grab win at home, but not on this occasion. Spurs were worthy of those 3 points, and if we play to our ability, who knows?
Speaking of Spurs, before we wrap up,
What happened to them at the weekend?
Tobs, I mean, I know you got Milan on tomorrow, and I know you've done a preview, and Benton calls out for 6 months, which is a madness, ACL, and that is literally your best midfielder. I don't know who you're going to play in tomorrow against Milan. They're in terrible form, but yeah, it's going to be insane. I didn't watch Tottenham in the whole 90 minutes. I had to catch highlights. Bro, what? I don't know how you want to sum that up. I genuinely can't believe that you lost 4-1 to Leicester. Like, what was that, bro? Bro, you man have the worst defense in the top 10. And you're a team that play a back five, back two holding midfielders, Conte, Italian.
Let's have it straight. They have the worst defense on this show. Like, really? Yeah,
they do. Like, my team actually have a better defensive. I'm shocked. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless.
Wait, so what did Lawless say?
Worst defense on this show.
I'm not gonna argue against that, but I just want to see the table. I want to see the table.
Yeah, you can look at the table because we ain't scored goals. We ain't scored goals. But no one's putting 4 past West Ham. Who put 4 past us? Tell me last time teams put 4 past us.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying
here we go again.
I'm saying our defense is poor. Mad, yeah, we've conceded. Yeah, you're right.
You've actually conceded more goals than West
Ham.
Ham. Holy shit!
West Ham conceded 8 goals less than Spurs. Yeah,
that's a relegation defense.
Yo, hey,
where's Pedro Porridge, man? Where's that guy?
I don't know why you're asking for Pedro Porro. Pedro Porro isn't the reason Spurs are shipping in 4. Who is he?
Pedro Porro.
He signed it. I don't know.
I don't know what you want me to say.
That's ridiculous.
I don't know what you want me to say. Like,
no, you don't have to say.
Is that the worst debut? Is that the worst debut?
The defense is crap. I've been saying the defense is crap for a minute. The defense is poor, bro. Conte had us at a point squeezing some quality out of these guys, but they just revert to type, man. The defense is bad. I say it all the time. We got the worst. I thought it was only just the top 10 because I always say Spurs got the worst defense of the top 10 when you look at the goals conceded. But when I just check that West Ham stat now, that is actually crazy. They're fighting relegation and they've conceded 8 goals less than Spurs. That's insane.
It's unreal.
You
cannot keep not letting Conte off the hook with these players because
I'm not letting him off the hook.
What's his name? Royale had the best game of his life against Manchester City, and he's dropped him for this game. For Porridge.
These comments are jokes. Like, did people watch the game or are they just here on the wind up?
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Pedro Porro. I'm so confused.
No, it's just the nicknames, isn't it? And it's just mad. I still can't get over the Porridge one. That's mad.
Pedro Porridge is hilarious.
That's what his name is from now.
Pedro Porro is fucking but it's fine, man. Listen, Pedro Porro wasn't good, but like you would think that he was the worst player of the day. He wasn't the worst player of the day. He had a tough time against Harvey Barnes, but again, he's not the reason Spurs lost 4-1. Yeah. We're just a poor defensive unit, man. The midfield didn't really offer much protection from the defense. Oh Lord, Eric Dyer just letting Iheanacho just run into the box. All the space and time in the world to pick your spot. Fraser Forster, he's as stiff as a plank of wood. It is.
Bro.
He was slow for that third goal, wasn't he? I have to say that.
He's a hologram, man. He's a hologram. I know exactly what Tobs is going to say. I know he's cut out, but Fraser Forster. Listen, this is why he's not being playing. Let's be real. I know Hugo Lloris is having a tough season, but this is why Foster's not playing. Foster is moving like a hologram. He's moving like Bravo in his debut.
He doesn't move. He don't move, bro. If you take a shot at Forster, he's gonna dive to save it 5 seconds after the ball's gone in the back.
He's 37. I watched Pepe Reina at the weekend.
No, he's
for Villarreal.
34.
He's 34. Oh shit!
Years old, and he
shit.
plays like he's 50, bro.
Is he 34?
Crazy. He's 34 years old.
Who is?
I thought he was 37. Because I was watching Pepe Reina.
I'm gonna Google it again. What?
Pepe Reina's 40. Pepe Reina is 40. He played for Villarreal at the weekend.
Bro, you know what's mad? You know what's
Pepe Reina's still playing, bro. He played
you
for
want to get him
Villarreal.
over at Spurs?
Yeah, Fraser Forster. Yeah, Fraser Forster's 34. And you know what's crazy about Fraser Forster? Yeah, like I actually thought he looked all right for Southampton last year. Like I didn't really
played really well against Arsenal, Tobs.
Yeah, that's the game I was referring. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, you know what? If you can give us this off the bench in a couple of games here and there, like it's not that deep. But I've seen this guy in 2 games now for Spurs in the league. Like he scared the life out of me. He scared the life out of me against Brentford, and then
and you lot got rejected.
I don't even blame him for any of the
goals
per se.
He's on Fraser Forster on the internet, and he's like,
too slow. He's slower than my internet. Yeah, he's slower than my internet.
Well, listen, we ain't got time to break it all down. Unfortunately, I don't think you want to break it down piece by piece. I mean, your defensive record is what it is, not just because of this game, just a continuous thing. Clearly, that you guys are incompetent in defending. You got midfield issues. I don't know what's going to happen against AC Milan. Are you confident before we wrap up against a stupid question, right? I mean, Milan are in terrible form, so it's maybe not the worst question in the world.
I think we're going to lose tomorrow, but I think we'll go through. We'll beat Milan over 2 legs.
Over 2 legs.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we're going to wrap up. I appreciate everybody coming in. I really wanted to do this episode because the timing of everything that happened was just too funny, man. Everybody here didn't win, which is ridiculous. Bad decisions went against everyone in some type of way. And then obviously Tottenham just, I don't know, mad. So I'm going to stick with Pedro Porridge, my brother. That is insane. Let them know where to find you. You are shameless, but a brilliant, brilliant man. I have no words for you. I've been
life choices of supporting Spurs in that throws there. West Ham Fan TV this week. Build up to Spurs. I was supposed to be meeting up with Tobs this week, so no dodgy internet getting in the way. It's going to be carnage, as the show says, and we've got watch-alongs, all of that business. So, this is going to be a big game because whatever happens that on Sunday, you're going to want to see the club's carnage the week after that because I'll be here.
Boy.
Facts. Tobs, let them know where to find you, bro. Thank you for coming in. Apologies for, what happened with Sky Sports today. It's long.
Nah, and my shit Wi-Fi as well. But tap into Tobs on all socials. I just did a preview for the Milan game, so go check that out. And I'll be about on Wednesday to analyze the post-match reaction.
Love that. There you guys. Make sure you subscribe to Tap in Tobs, West Ham Fan TV. And Lee, pleasure, bro. I'm glad you've been filling in for Potts, man. It's brilliant. Some of your analogies are actually mad. Let them know where to find you, bro. Pleasure.
Yeah, you can find me obviously at AFTV or on Lee Judges TV. That's it. But I enjoy it, So Lawless is like he's starting to wind me up. I must say.
Good, it's working.
So there you go, guys. Listen, make sure you subscribe to everyone, man. It was a shorter show today. We I don't know how we managed to scram it in, but fair play to everybody on the panel, man. We managed to just quickly get the show in. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It weren't easy to find a time slot. It's literally impossible. So we just had to get this show done for you, and then we keep it moving. So Champions League coming up. Fixture congestion is mad. We will see you guys next time. Subscribe to everybody in the description. In a bit, people. Peace. Come on.